Hey everybody, it's Mark, DoctorDeadwax, and it's time for Recent Vinyl Finds 21. Tonight, as seems to be the case always lately, Southern Tier Double Milk Stout, 2X Stout. Just a fantastic beer. It's like a daily drinker, if I was allowed to drink daily. I'm allowed like 3 beers a week. I'm only allowed 1 a day. I have them when I make a video. But, oh well, life catches up to you, doesn't it? Cheers, everybody. Okay, today's person I want to shout out is afclementson, or Adam. Adam has been making videos for a couple months. Really nice guy, really positive videos. He is Swedish, but lived in the United States for many years, and just I think he moved back to Sweden recently. He had another person, I can't remember the guy's name right now, but they knew each other in high school, and he's in the VC as well, and he went to Sweden at Christmas, and they made a video together, and he's been doing the Record of the Week videos. So afclementson, and I will put a link down below, and go to his channel, watch a couple of his videos. If he clicks with you, sub him up, and away we go. I think you'll like the guy. Next, again, record shelves, photographs, Punk, Texas, record shelves at yahoo.com. Take a photo of your record shelves, or many photos of your record shelves, or your record storage systems, whatever, and mail them to recordshelves at yahoo.com. All right. So tonight it's kind of a, again, it's a jazz night. So if you're looking for rock, there's no rock. And tonight I kind of did a bit of an ECM thing, because we've got the ECM thing going on. Everybody's vibing on the ECM, and I have a whole bunch in the inbox, so I cleaned some up, and some of these are ECMs. And the first one is Keith Jarrett's The Celestial Hawk for orchestra, percussion, and piano. This is ECM 1175, and this is the Syracuse Symphony conducted by Christopher Keane with Keith Jarrett on piano. And this is fantastic. It was recorded March 1980 at Carnegie Hall in New York City. And this is just great. This is great, great, great. I see a lot of the jazz on ECM being shown, but I don't see much of the kind of modern avant classical. This isn't very avant. This is not like some of the other things. This is kind of, it's almost, if you like, if you're not into classical music, but you're the kind of person that's into soundtracks, and the kind of classical performances in these, this had a bit of that kind of a feel to it. And this is a US pressing on ECM. This has the WW stamp in it, but because this record is from 1980, it seems to be a little earlier than all the ones that are kind of see-through on the Quiet vinyl. So this one isn't see-through, and it's got the, but it still has the Wakefield Warner for the Arizona pressing plant. So this is excellent. It's, it's not jazz. It's, Melissa's playing with a Q-tip. If you hear her bouncing around down there. Loves the Q-tips. There is no finer toy for her than a Q-tip. Now that was like $1 at a show in a bin. I gotta say, it's highly enjoyable. Jarrett's playing is, it's always great, and the music he's composed, it's great. Next is Art Lande and Rubisa Patrol Desert Marauders, and this is a promo copy I picked up. This is ECM 1106. This is from 1978. So you can see, like, 1980, 1978. 1978 we're at 1106. 1980 we're at 1175. So they're putting out like 35, 40 records a year by this point. Players on this are Art Lande on piano, Mark Isham on trumpet, flugelhorn, Bill Douglas on bass and flute, and Kurt Wortman on drums. And again, standard ECM logo. This has Master Disc RL in the Deadwax, and this is from 1978, as I said. So this is, Warner is still producing these. This is, we've gone past the Polydor period of ECM releases in the US, but this is pre-Wakefield Warner pressing plant. And these are when they were done by Robert Ludwig. This sounds excellent. Although I've said it all along, if there's a weak spot with Robert Ludwig, it's mastering ECM records. I'm not a fan. But I don't have another pressing of this to compare it to. Sorry, I don't know if I showed the cover. Art Lande and Rubisa Patrol. Desert Marauders. This is a promo copy. I picked this up for $4. So I don't know where I was. Where was it? Oh, yeah. So I don't have another pressing, like a German pressing or anything of this to compare to the Ludwig. But anyways, there are Master Disc RLs out there. I don't think they're worth hunting down for ECM. I think a nice German or an early Polydor, from my experience of listening to other ECMs and comparing them to Ludwig ECMs, like my Coleman's concerts, my German is the best, and then my Polydor, early Polydor, is better, and then the Ludwig is, it's just not as good. So this record, what can I say about this record? This record is fantastic. I've heard a lot of Mark Isham. Mark Isham's on did a lot of Windham Hill stuff later, and I heard a lot of that stuff. And I gotta say, I'm really not a huge fan of Mark Isham's Windham Hill releases. They're a little saccharine, syrupy. I don't know. They're just not. They're not great. He's a hell of a player. What the hell happened? Because he is fantastic on this, and this record is just great. Art Lande and Rubisa Patrol, and Art Lande is he's killer on the piano, and it's another name I'm not overly familiar with. So I'm really glad to pick that up for $4. Other ECM. This one is Lester Bowie's Brass Fantasy. I Only Have Eyes for You. And this is the first Lester Bowie record. Sorry, this is the first Lester Bowie Brass Fantasy record. And this is, again, on ECM. And this has the WW stamp for Wakefield Warner. But this has the see-through vinyl that we've talked about, that is like a translucent brown when you hold it up to the light. And so this one is actually on Qui-X vinyl, but it has the inverted W stamp on it. And definitely is a great sounding record. So now, Lester Bowie's Brass Fantasy, I Only Have Eyes for You. Great record. A little surprised. I'd heard some Bowie and Brass Fantasy. It kind of comes with this very cool insert, which is almost kind of promo-esque. That's it. It's like a poster. Nothing on the back. So, and that was really cool. This was $15, and I offered the guy $5 for it, and he took it. So. I got this show at a flea market next to a show. I showed this record when I picked it up during the Inbox Challenge. What can I say about this? I Only Have Eyes for You. Boy, that song can be really tired, can it? Excellent here. There's a song on here called Coming Back Jamaica, which he wrote, which has this reggae feel. And, sometimes when things have the reggae feel as opposed to just being reggae, they don't work, and this works really well. I gotta say, I'm really I'm really impressed with this record, and I bought it because it was an ECM, and I didn't actually think I would like it. And I actually like it a hell of a lot more than I ever thought I would. So that's pretty awesome. And the players on here are Stanton Davis, Malachi Thompson, Bruce Pearce, Craig Harris, Lester Bowie, of course, Steve Ture, Vincent Chansey, Bob Stewart, and Philip Wilson. And I gotta recommend it. It is highly interesting jazz, contemporary jazz, but not. I wouldn't call this. It's not free. It's not avant. It's just contemporary. It's highly musical at times. It's melodic at times. It's kind of a little pushy at times, like pushing a little, but not too far. It's great. Can't recommend it enough. Next is Brother Jack McDuff. Do It Now on Atlantic. This is it's on Atlantic, and it's from the late '60s. Then what is it? If it's from Canada, it's a Canadian Red Atlantic. Now this is an earlier Canadian Red Atlantic because this is a Quality Records Red Atlantic as opposed to a RCA Smith Falls Red Atlantic. So when Warner had taken over and we're getting their records pressed at RCA Smith Falls. So this is one of these anomaly records. It's a record from the '60s. It's scratched up bad, but I picked it up at a show for $2 and there was no way I was leaving a Red Atlantic for that. It's scratched up really badly and you can barely hear a noise on it. Just the odd time there's a tick or a little click or something. So you just never know. Sometimes the scratch records sound glorious, and other times the records that have just a scuff on them sound horrendous. So one day I should do a little kind of breakdown of the Red Atlantics, because there are 3 phases of Red Atlantics when they were handled by they have 3 different types of labels, but this is the Quality Records Limited period. Brother Jack McDuff, the music. The music's good. I kind of put Jack McDuff he's like Jimmy Smith and Fred McGriff and some of those, or Jimmy. Yeah, I think it's Fred McGriff. Or is it Jimmy McGriff? Anyway, I can't talk about that right now. I'm running out of time. The music is good. I find all of those kind of organy records, sometimes they're good music, and the odd one is a real knockout. This one's a little bit better than most, but it's not a real knockout. But there are a couple of real good songs in here. There's a song on here on the last side called Mutt and Jeff that has one of the jazziest feels with a great saxophone. And then finally, Tomorrow is the Question, the new music of Ornette Coleman on Contemporary. I paid $8 for this. And, well, what can you say about this record? This record's fantastic. This is an early '70s reissue on Contemporary. This is not an original. And this is a record that has a couple little scuffs and scratches on it that I bought it because, I don't have this record. And every single scuff and scratch ticks and clicks, and it's actually quite distracting for the music. Now the music, wow. People, a lot of people have a real hard time with Ornette Coleman, and later on he got very, very free. And this you can hear the beginnings of free. He's eliminated the piano. This is his second record, but he's his second record as a leader. He's eliminated the piano from this record, and that kind of has allowed him to go more, to start going freer. But highly accessible record. This is kind of pushing away from, but it's very bop, very post-bop, or sorry, very hard bop at times almost. It's an excellent record. I loved it. So anyway, can't recommend that enough. So just a classic. I'm looking for a better copy of this, which is just great. I bought it because I knew I should buy it. Hadn't heard it, didn't know if I'd love it. I actually did. This is just great. Canadian Red Atlantic. This is wonderful. Lester Bowie. This is a gem. Art Lande and Rubisa Patrol Desert Marauders. And the Celestial Hawk is a great record. So that's tonight's records. Cheers, everybody. Check out Adam. Send your pictures away. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.